Prepare thyself for a 90s injection.
You, son, are playing with the gods. And when you're out there, breathing in the hot, stinky breath of the gods, ask yourself, what in the sand am I doing here? You are ready!
Now feast your eyes on 90s awesomeness with the game that we'll be looking at today. I'm sorry for putting you through that time machine. Actually, I'm not sorry. But today we're looking at one of my all-time favorite PlayStation 1 games, Assault Rigs.
You all don't understand. You just don't understand how much I love this game. It all started when I got my PS1 and I played the demo through the interactive CD sampler Volume 2 that I received with my PlayStation. A lot of people were exposed to this game because of this sampler. Also, this song right here is also what dug into the subconscious of so many dormant minds of the time and including today. Many who have heard this track and hear it again will most likely say, I remember this, but where did I hear it from? Then it will drive them mad, trying to find the game that this track belongs to. So Assault Rigs was developed and published by Psygnosis. I love their logo. The game was released on MS-DOS PCs, the PlayStation, and the Sega Saturn. The game was released in North America in February 1st, 1996. The PC version released the same year and the Sega Saturn version released only in Japan in September of 1997. The Saturn version was developed by Perfect Entertainment. The wonderful music in the game was composed by Matt Furness. Matt, if you're watching this video, the music you compose, man, I love it. The music is so good, in fact. I use it regularly in my other reviews. It's that good. The PlayStation version has the ability to use the PlayStation Link cable, which requires you to own 2 PlayStations, 2 copies of Assault Rigs, and 2 televisions. Yeah. Some game developers didn't see the need to incorporate split-screen local multiplayer, like ever. So this is why I never seen what the 2-player mode is like. Actually, I never seen the link cable in action, like, ever. So because of the demo, I had to play the full game, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. When the game boots up, you get this awesome opening. When I was a kid, I actually wanted to play the arcade games presented in this intro, especially the VR one. It's funny how we have access to the Oculus Rift today. After the rocky intro, you get the menu, which is full of awesome, and the options are self-explanatory. Again, here is another game that allows you to hear its full soundtrack.
I'm still looking at you, Steam.
When you start a game, you have a selection of 3 tanks. The slowest has the most armor, while the lightest, but fastest, has the least armor. I usually choose a medium tank for its versatility, but medium armor damage consumption. When you begin the game, you get a password, which is useful if you wish to continue at any time. And then you are thrown into the game. The game's objective is vastly simple. Collect all the gems in the level and head to the exit. Each level gets vastly more difficult as the game progresses. What stands in your way are viruses. That's what the game calls them. Your HUD overlay displays your points on the top left. Found in remaining gems in the level, collecting them all activates the exit, which you can then touch to end the level's time limit, and your armor on all 4 sides of your rig. If any of your armor values turn black, then one more shot to that side will destroy you. Then you can just continue the game from the start of the level. In the game, you'll face dangerous obstacles like landmines, which you can shoot, and they spread in 4 different directions, which harms you and nearby viruses. Shot gates that really hurts your armor. Elevator lifts that can lift you or carry you across a room. Some of these are insanely slow too, which can be annoying.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Don't try this at home, kids.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yes, each level has a time limit. If the time limit runs out, then you get a game over. This is the only way to game over. You can die as many times as you like, but once that timer goes dry, that's it. Then you have to input the password to continue from where you started off. I found myself letting a virus kill me just so I wouldn't have to do that. So I do not understand the point of a game over when the timer runs out if death just allows you to continue.
Hey, dude. Hey. Can you kill me a second? Yeah, kill me. I'm running out of time. Yeah, I need to be killed so I can respawn. Can you come kill me, please?
During the game, you will encounter the VR zone, the industrial zone, the military zone, which we also seen in a demo, and the World at War zone. All these zones really do is change the music a little bit, the look of your rig, the enemies, and the change of feel of the environments, which I honestly think is a really neat touch to make the game feel fresh each passing stage. I should too add that each level you pass, the game gets harder and harder. It throws puzzles your way that you have to solve mostly with moving boxes, which you can shoot. This one puzzle got me stumped because I had to figure out how to grab this gem that was unreachable. All I had to do was just drop through a false floor and fall to it. Then I had to shove these boxes onto an elevator, go up to shoot it, repeat it a second time, and then I could have a pathway to the exit. There's a lot of stuff like this in the game when you are rushed to solve it thanks to the time limit, which I just killed myself by standing in the lasers.
Hey, yo. Never mind. There are lasers over there. I'm just gonna stand between them until I melt.
The combat is very fluent and fun. It plays like your average third-person shooter or first-person shooter depending on the camera angle you choose. You can pick up weapons by shooting these blue thingamabobs, but don't shoot twice because you can accidentally destroy the weapon or power-up included within. Weapons like a homing missile launcher, a guided missile launcher, a minigun, remember the intro? A shatter gun, a laser gun, which is pretty powerful, and a bounce gun. Other power-ups like the battery, which charges your armor back to green, a shield power-up that protects you for a short duration of time, an auto turret power-up that has your turret automatically aim at other viruses so you don't have to aim at them directly, small deployable turrets that you can place on the floor, and a warp power-up which warps you to a random location within the level. Good for when you need to escape. Notice sometimes I get flipped over? It's okay. Press a triangle button and you're all set. But this is something I need to talk about, which is the feel of the rigs. Even though they are tanks, or in the game's terminology, rigs, they are very lightweight and they feel very lightweight. If you run into a wall, your rig will immediately hug it in either the left or rightmost direction of the wall. Also, when you fall, the tank just bounces all over the place. Yeah, a very bouncy tank. I am not kidding. Sometimes a tank freaks out and you can lose temporary control of what you're doing. The tank can be quite fast, so in levels with very small platforms which you can fall off the sides of, you have to be very specific in how you move the rig. If you force it, you can fly off the side and flip and tumble in every which way possible. It's the most sensitive movement control for any game with tanks in it that I've ever played. It can be a problem in some aspects of combat as well, especially when you need to be facing the viruses to kill them. You could back into a wall, which will ruin your perspective, and they can begin wailing on your armor until you can reorient yourself. This is the only flaw I can find with this game without being too overly biased.
Gosh. Am I missing anything else?
Oh yeah, the game has 42 levels in total, and I only got up to level 23 for this review. I've never beaten this game personally, even if it is one of my favorite games on the PS1. I do not regret ever getting this game. Also, you find this game interesting in any way, I implore you, no, urge you to play this game. Even if you have to emulate it, just play this game. If you are a purist and refuse to emulate games, then you can grab a copy of Assault Rigs on eBay for about $15 to $25, depending on the condition of the game, if it's a box copy or a complete package with manual. This is an obscure but absolute gem on the PlayStation and has been criminally overlooked. In my final verdict, all I need to say is this: Assault Rigs, I heart you. I too hope that others will heart you too.
And I am Dr. Valther Garstang. And hopefully we'll see each other again next time. But until then, farewell.